Morning. Let's see. I'm just gonna. I don't need that there. I don't know if that helps at all. Mamba, what is going on? David S., good to see you. Long time. Moved from Arizona to Washington State for the summer. Ah, smart man. Smart man. You're not retired, but you're just mobile. You're able to do that. I imagine it's much cooler in Washington State. My daughter lives in Spokane, although I do believe they are moving at some point. Oh, that's right. I think, Izzy, I think I knew that, actually, that the first video you saw of me was DADGAD. And I'm getting ready to do another DADGAD video. It's like, I don't know why I'm so dense, but those are literally, other than my 7 tips for older beginners, those are almost my no-brainer videos. And, you know, I'll admit here, live, in front of God and everyone, that I don't really play a lot in DADGAD. The only time I play in DADGAD is when I'm kind of writing fingerstyle stuff. And I love it for that. There are people that play in DADGAD all the time. That's the only tuning they use. It's very limited in some ways. I mean, the guitar tuning that we all use, the Eat at Denny's, Get Bad Eggs, is not the most conducive tuning, but it's a tuning that was derived at over a period of time that allowed the most accessibility to chords in particular. It's a very good tuning for playing chords, which generally is what the guitar is used for. But soloing wise, you know, straight fourths would be easier to memorize. If your whole fretboard was in fourths, it'd be so much more symmetrical. Or if it was tuned in fifths like a mandolin, same kind of thing. Although the frets would be awful big, although bass players and cellists don't have a problem with it. So, you know, upright bass players. Although upright bass is actually, I don't think, tuned in fifths. No, it's tuned like a guitar, bottom 4 strings. Cello is tuned in fifths. And the cello, I'm actually on the hunt for a cello, believe it or not. Not because I think I could become a great cellist by any stretch, but it would be fun to have around in case I need it for ambient type stuff, ambient stuff, ambiance. Or ambient. All right. Where is everybody? I guess it is Memorial Day. Bob, you might know this. I want to put a little thing up here that says like Happy Memorial Day, but you don't say Happy Memorial Day, right? I could just say thank you, veterans. I mean, essentially, that's what Memorial Day is. Veterans Day is the same thing. Memorial Day is Veterans Day is more for the living. Memorial is more for the not living, for those that died in battle. Yeah, exactly. So, what would be the best greeting for up there to just to put up, like over here? Thank you for your service. No, because again, that's the Veterans Day thing. It's remembering those who paid their ultimate sacrifice today, right? Something like that. We could change it. I mean, it's just a good thing to know. Because, I mean, you could say Happy Memorial Day because everybody's got the day off, right? But that's not really what it's about. Remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice today. Oh, it's so funny. I'm gonna have to chase it down to make it smaller. All right. It's just gonna keep getting. Boop. Yeah, I have to. Sorry. There we go. Now, oh, wait. Oh, right. Oh, I forgot I could do returns. I was thinking. Boop. Boop. Something like this. But glad people have the day off. We don't really spend the day. I used to, is that how you spell sacrifice? Yeah, sacrament, sacrifice, yeah. Let me fix that, get rid of that. For all the OCD people out there, there we go. I used to do like a choir play with a choir at the Veterans, Arlington, not Arlington, the one in Westwood. There's a giant memorial cemetery in Westwood. Some of the most, and it's actually a huge tribute because it's literally some of the most valuable land in Los Angeles. It's right up against Bel Air, Brentwood, Westwood, all of that over by UCLA. And it's a giant, you can see it from space. It's a giant cemetery. And I used to every year go there with a choir and do a concert. We'd set up and we'd do a bunch of patriotic songs and things like that. Yeah, please remember remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice today in service of their country. You're right, in service of their country, probably. Yeah, Bruce, we're just trying to come up with the perfect thing, but I think that's right. I think I'll add, because that could just mean people that died. Well, on Memorial Day, do you remember policemen and firemen too? Sacrifice in service. This could get like to be 800 words long. But see, country, I guess country could imply the whole small. Yeah, see, we're trying to, you don't really say Happy Memorial Day. You might say Happy Veterans Day, but Memorial Day is more of a somber thing. Oh, nice. Yeah, and I guess Memorial Day you could remember everybody, how they, I don't have any, I mean, I don't have anybody buried that I know near me. In Indiana, Michigan, places like that, yeah, but Spell, yeah, sacrifice. How do you sacrifice? I always spell that word wrong. Sacrifice. Thank you. Gosh, I knew it looked wrong. Okay, I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry. Sacrifice. Where? How do I click in there? Here we go. Sacrifice. Yay! Thank you. I knew it was wrong. I wasn't sure. I was thinking sacrament. Oh. All right, so I'm going to tune back to standard for a second. And then we're all going to tune to DADGAD. DADGAD's one of those tunings that really any guitar can do it. It's not going to hurt anything. The only thing is if you have a whammy bar, it might take you a minute if you're sitting there with an electric guitar. I don't know. Maybe. Why are you saying C? It's not a C there. The only reason I'm tuning right now is to put it back to DADGAD, so. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Why? It's so weird. It's like it's hearing a fourth, there's no fourth overtone on a G string. You're in the fifth on that one. Weird. Must be the solar flares that are messing up guitar tuners. All right, well, looks like we've got some people here. Hey, Ty, what's going on? Took one lesson in 1979. That was the year I graduated high school. Well, wait a minute. You're exactly my age. Literally, I am 62 years old. Sorry, I've been watching Parks and Rec and what's his name says literally all the time. Well, we're still not very high. I wonder how many we're going to get. I'm hoping people are out remembering or doing stuff on Memorial Day and not hanging out here with me. But also people that don't have to work today are looking for something to do. So Richard Abdul's in the house. Joseph is in the house. Thank you, Joseph. Great to see you. Bruce, thank you for being here. We got Bruce and we've got Bob. Oh, we got 3 62-year-olds here. Yeah, so Ty, yeah, so by 79, I knew I wanted to live in Los Angeles and be a studio guitar player. A position that probably would have been more likely that I would have become an NFL quarterback than that. But, in case anyone doesn't know, DADGAD tuning is, well, it's stated. So why is that? Why is there an extra space there? Sorry. I'm not particularly OCD, but I'm sympathetic to those that are. There, that's better. Okay. Yeah, that works. All right, so we're going to talk about the DADGAD tuning. So here's the deal. I am getting ready to do another video on DADGAD. Like I said a few minutes ago, I should do more of these because they actually get really good spins generally. My last couple ones didn't, but I was doing like videos on jazz chords in DADGAD. And even still, if I were to look up those on my channel, those still are probably outpacing any other videos that I've released around them. I mean, jam tracks are kind of weird. They can kind of come and go. The video I did on my $99 Squire that I used for the Bieber song, that's almost got 5,000 views. So I know guys that within 8 hours they have 70,000 views on a song. Okay, on nothing. Some jazz chords in DADGAD. That got 4,100. So I did another one and more DADGAD jazz chords. That's almost hard to say. And it got 2,400. But this one is going to be different. I'm not going to give away the title yet. In fact, I may not. I'll try to remember not to say it. But what I want to do is I want to have a little piece at the beginning of the video. I'm going to start the video. Not that I think it had anything to do with the success of 7 Tips for Older Beginners. But on that video, it's, I think, my only video where I actually have a song up front playing, it may not be my only video like that. There may be a couple other videos like that, but there are no other videos where I have a song playing up front and I'm not in picture, and then I walk into picture, pick up the guitar, and start talking. And so I'm gonna do that with this DADGAD video that I'm gonna do. I think if I go, like I said, if I look up, let me do this. Sorry, I gotta open this again. I can sort by DADGAD here. DADGAD, EGAD, DADGAD. I should call it video EGAD, DADGAD. Show all. I've got, well, including live videos, I've got 13 of these. I also did one called the Inside Out DADGAD, which is hilarious. Chords and DADGAD Tuning, Part 1. 186,000 views. Play most any song in DADGAD. That one is 607,000. And then some fun scales in DADGAD, 23,000. But not great, but that I've got 2 of them that are over 100,000. The open tuning ones do tend to do pretty well. For some reason, I think because there's just not a lot of content out there, especially kind of introductory content. So, hey, Time Prophet. Hail, Tom Strahle. Here's the other thing. Memorial Day, literally every country, literally, listen to me, it's all, I don't mean to say literally so much, but I believe probably every country in the world has a Memorial Day. So this goes to everyone. I don't know when everybody's Memorial Day is all over the world, but I'm sure everybody has, there's even a respect among soldiers of opposing, when the war is over, soldiers generally of opposing sides, for one thing, they're usually just the pawns anyway, and they're glad the whole thing's over. So usually there's some camaraderie there, certainly a lot of commonality. Pin the Discord link. Oh, you're right. I didn't do that. Thank you. Bruce, let me grab it. Yeah. Now I'm probably going to do like just typewriter tab here for when I start talking about chord shapes. We still don't have very many people, but that's fine. It's going to be a lower view thing. So the first thing we want to do when we want to tune to DADGAD, and I'm pretty generally you don't need for DADGAD. If you have a dedicated DADGAD guitar, yeah, you maybe would want to change some of the strings. But I don't really think it's bad on the neck. You're actually taking pressure off the neck, and you're not taking a lot of pressure off the neck. So, but basically the idea is to take, it's right now we're at E, A, D, G, B, E. And what we want to do, well, for one thing, before we do that, play this chord, E sus. Okay? E sus. And that would be, here we go with a typewriter tab. E sus. E, S, U, S. E, also E sus4, if you want to think of it that way. 022200. All right, that's E sus. That's ultimately, a whole step down from that is ultimately what the guitar is going to sound like, strummed open like that, but in the key of D. It's just going to be a D sus chord. I don't know why they don't call it D sus tuning. But DADGAD is more sexy, I guess. Okay, so what we're going to do is, so you can see by playing this, if we're going to take this down a whole step, then these 3 strings don't change. The 3 strings that I have these 3 fingers on, they don't change. We're going to leave those the same. But to make this sound like a D sus, we're going to play, oh weird, the pinned link now is white. That's new. So I'm going to take this E down to D, and I'm just going to use the D string to do that, but I can use a tuner, no problem. In fact, I probably should fine tune it so we're all in tune. Okay, and then the next 3 strings you don't touch. In fact, if you play the bottom 4 strings, you already have a D sus chord. It wants to resolve, doesn't it? All right, and then what we're going to do is we've got an A string. We're going to take that B. B string down to A. Weird buffering, huh? I'm green here. But I haven't been looking at. I'll keep my eyes on the little meter there. But if two people are buffering, there is an issue. But it may not be. It may be in. Let's see. Who's having an issue? Joseph and Time Prophet. Time Prophet, where are you located? Oh, you're in Britain. Oh, that's weird. So that, yeah. Joseph is in LA or in California. Okay. So now we're in DADGAD. So if I play this. Oh, so need to fine tune it. Now the other strings make it while I tune a little bit there's a little bit of relief on the neck. It's a little bit like you've adjusted maybe a micro adjustment to your truss rod or something. I don't know why it keeps thinking the G chord is a C. Okay, that's pretty close. So I'm gonna take the tuner off. Here we go. Got my Elixir shirt on, everybody. See that? Elixirs. Oh, you know what? They did send me a logo. I can put that up there. I kind of endorse Elixirs. I don't mind. I like the strings a lot, so that I wouldn't recommend something I don't like. I wouldn't, they don't really pay me for that. Elixir logos. Oh, there's a bunch of them. November. Oh, these are old. Let's see what. Oh, wow, they've got a ton of them. If there's any that I like. Can I just grab this, put it there? Okay. Oh, dang, look how big that is. Well, we don't want that. But I'll put it over here. I don't know though if that changes the status of the page if I have to say it's endorsed. I don't really, okay, they give me a box of strings for this. It's not like I'm getting money. But not for this, but just for them being able to use my name. I'm cheap. Let me put it that way. Yeah, I used, for acoustic, what did I use? I don't remember what I used on acoustic before. I used Ernie Ball on electrics, but I never thought of them as acoustic strings. But these are Elixirs. The reason I like Elixirs is because of the coating and they last a long time. And these are nano webs, so they're not, they don't get as furry as the poly webs used to get. They're quieter, which is real important when you're doing studio work. If you're playing at a club or if you're playing whatever, well, if I were playing at a club, I'd be sweating and I would wear out strings and another reason. So, anyway, let's just talk about the DADGAD thing. In fact, I need to create a new. I want to have the tuning just in front of us, even though it's in the name. It's just good to see. All right. So here's the tuning. Okay. The first thing I want you to notice is that there are 3 Ds. All right. There are 3 Ds in that tuning. So we have the bottom string and the top string are both Ds, and then the 4th string. And the 4th string is the one that was already D. But now it has family, it has friends, it has company. All right. So that's one thing you want to notice. Now, the next thing we're going to do, and again, this is to write music in DADGAD, and it could be writing songs that you strum and sing over. Like I said, I don't really do that. I use DADGAD. I have, but I generally use DADGAD to write fingerstyle music on. Okay. It's so weird, Joseph. Yeah, I'm green right down here. I got a little meter down here on the OBS software, and it's green as well, it's not quite Boston Celtics are going to kill my Pacers. I knew that was going to happen. I thought the Pacers would win again. Well, without Halliburton, they're not going to win. They're not going to win anything. But I mean, I was shocked they got past the Knicks. That was pretty fun, especially with what's his name sitting right there on the court side. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It doesn't really matter if they don't beat the Celtics. I'm a Celtics fan too, so it's weird. Coming to LA and being a Celtics fan is not a good thing. But the reason I'm a Celtics fan is because of Larry Bird. He's from Indiana, and I was from Indiana, and I'm like, oh, cool. I wasn't really into basketball until then. I remember that. And speaking of 1979, graduating high school in 79, what's his name had his first lesson in 1979. Where is he? He was way back here. We're at the beginning. Who was that? Oh, Ty. I don't know if Ty Real's still here. The problem is, Ty, we're kind of talking about something that's a little bit different than beginner. I mean, like I said, there are players who just use DADGAD and play everything in DADGAD, but a lot of Irish musicians will do that. But what I want to do is I want to learn the D major scale and the D minor scale on the bottom string. Consequently, if we learn it on the bottom string, you're going to learn it on. It's going to be the same exact thing, same positions as the fourth string and the first string. So I'll show you what you can do with that. It's pretty cool. Okay, and I was being a servant yesterday, and I was washing my wife's car. And I broke 2 fingernails. I should have filed, I know it sounds so wimpy, but I should have filed my nails down a little bit before going out and washing a car. But when your hands get wet and stuff, they're much more vulnerable. I try not to play guitar after getting out of a shower, or at least not fingerstyle guitar or classical guitar. But why do they call it Celtics? I know, it's Celtics. I have no idea. It's Celtic music and the Boston Celtics. It's probably just a complete mispronunciation, an Americanization, you know. But it's not like in the English language we didn't have the K sound. So I really don't know. That's a good question. See if someone can find that out in the meantime. We'll find out. There's probably a YouTube video on that. Okay, so if you remember, I almost want to write this out as well. Okay, let me do this too. I'm going to write out the formulas for major and minor chords because I feel like it's almost easier to find the notes on the fretboard if you can think of the formulas rather than the notes, because it's like, wait, I don't know when the note's up and down my neck. Yeah, I know you don't, or some of you don't. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out the major formula, which is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, right? And the minor, which is whole, half, whole, whole, let's see, whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. Okay, so there's the 2 formulas. I'm going to put those, they're going to be a little bit smaller than the, come on, hard to make these work this, okay, here we go. Going to be smaller than the, but I can move this over here, and I can move this over here, and then I can drop this down here. Capiche? All right. Now the reason I feel like it makes it, if I were to tell you to play F sharp on the low string, you know, you might have a hard time because it used to be there, now it's here. All right. So, or if I said, oh, where's the C sharp? You'd be like, well, it used to be here. Where is it now? Oh, it's here. But if I say play the bottom string, okay, now go up a whole step, go up a whole step, go up a half step, whole, 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 half. Now you just played this without really knowing it by using this information. And that would be, this is information that's transposable. This is not. This is like, that's D major, all right? And then the minor would be E, and we're going to go over this. Oh, whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. Okay? Now again, the open guitar is a D sus chord, right? We don't know, is it a D sus to a D major or a D sus to a D minor? Because a sus can go either way. We don't know. It's dealer's choice, and you're the dealer. So if you can memorize whole, half, whole, half, and the other thing is we can do other modes. Okay, and if you're a very beginner, don't worry. That just means just other scales. And so we could do like a D Mixolydian thing, which would be really cool. Which would be whole. It would have a C in it instead of a C sharp. No, don't worry, there won't be a quiz on this. My mug is broken. Everybody take a celebratory sip. It's one of our drinking game rules. If I say there won't be a quiz on it, everybody takes a sip. Yeah, Cashmere's in DADGAD. Something like that, right? Was it? I don't know, something like that. It's so fun. It's such a great song, and I never learned it early on. It was not one of the ones I learned. I didn't have that record, and I probably had no idea what DADGAD was when I was a kid. I had no idea. I remember though seeing, we've talked about this before, and this wouldn't apply to DADGAD. It would be open D or something, and that would be just take this G string down to F sharp. But I remember seeing Dolly Parton on Johnny Carson, and she pulls out a guitar. She's got nails out to here. I'm like, how's she gonna play guitar with nails? And she just was like this the whole time. And that was like, wait, she's not playing. And I didn't have my guitar out or anything. I was just watching on TV, and it's like, wait a minute, what is that thing? And so I was probably 13 or 14 or something, and I'm watching Dolly Parton on TV, so I wasn't thinking about guitar initially. Sorry, Holly. Holly's not here. Do we have any ladies on today? Oh, well, if there are no ladies on today, then this is going to take a bad turn. So, but let's just keep it simple for now. Let's do major, okay? So again, here we go. We're open, and then second fret, or 2 frets up, 1 fret up, 2 frets, 2 frets, 2 frets, and 1 fret. That's what whole step means on the guitar. A whole step is 2 frets, and a half step is 1 fret, okay? So you can think of that. You can think of those W's as 2s and those H's as 1s if you want. And we're talking about this interval. So that's a whole step, that's a whole step, that's a half step, that's a whole step, okay? We're not talking about the names of them. It's E, F sharp, or sorry, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Okay, so right away, now, and there's so many ways to look at these, right? Now we're going to number them, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 again, not 8, but 1. All right. So if we want a 1 chord, we do that. If we want a 2 chord, kind of like that, we could do a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm strumming pretty much all the strings, creating a lot of mud. However, remember we have 3 D strings. So whatever I do to this string, I can do to any of the others. Perfect for creating melodies. Check it out. Now we still get that sus sound underpinning everything, which we have to work to get away from. And if we were in open D, then we wouldn't have the minor option, okay? But we could. There we go. okay? But we don't. We have the G. Okay, so we're in DADGAD. What if I had the F sharp in place of the? That's Mateus, that's exactly what I was just saying, and that would be less of a thing. But that wouldn't be DADGAD. So we're talking about DADGAD now. But some of that is kind of beautiful, like that. I love the sound of that G string against the F sharp. Except it's not quite in tune. Let me tune it. Because I messed around with open D. So if you took the F sharp, G down to F sharp, then you would be in open D tuning. But that removes our minor possibility. See, we can do the same thing we're doing right now with a major scale. Almost works better with a minor scale because there's less of that rub between the F sharp and the G. But I like that rub. See, if I'm banging out something, but again, generally when I'm playing DADGAD, I'm playing fingerstyle, or I'm doing a fingerstyle kind of thing. So check this out. I'm going to just play the top. Oh, actually, I could do the fourth string, the second string, and the first string. So I'm avoiding the G. Watch this. Broke my thumbnail, so I have no. See that? So right away, just I could do a little melody, or and I think I'm going to use a picto just for more volume. But even with that G string, now I'm playing the top three strings. So I'm playing G, A, and then whatever note is on top. It's decidedly DADGAD, but that's what it should be. It sounds very DADGAD-y, which is a word. Look it up. It's going to be, it's going to sound. There's going to be moments where it's like, whoa, that's kind of weird, but I kind of like it. This is a Martin. Now, we haven't talked about the A string yet, or the A strings. Remember, we have two A strings. We have three D strings. Okay, so if you can memorize the scale, just start on the bottom string, and you should be able to kind of hear it. You could probably do it by ear. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That. On the D string. Now check this out. I can do, like if I go to, I've got the DADGAD here. If I go to the 5th fret of the bottom string and the 4th string, so 6th and 4th string, I got two G's, and now I go to A, and then here to B's. And let's learn one chord I want to show you right now in DADGAD, and that is a D5 chord. So if we take that G string and play the 2nd fret and make it an A, now we have two A's. So that's a pretty nondescript chord. It's just D's and A's. So it's a D5 is what I call it. You could call it a D no third, but that's too much work. So I'm lazy. I kind of invented. I know I wasn't the only one. But outside of, I never saw a D5 chord before in my life. I just started using the term D5 when I was teaching guitar lessons when I was in high school and in college, because it was like, it was so common in rock to have these power chords, and they didn't have thirds in them. I'm like going, I am freaking not going to write D parentheses no third, C parentheses no third, B flat parentheses no third. It's like, I'm not going to do that. So I just started calling them D5 because it was a D, it was that note and the 5th. Okay? So when you play this chord, That's a D5 chord. All right. So let's check this out. So you can kind of resolve to that. So I'm gonna typewriter tab it in here. 000200. Boom. D5. Yep. Right there. All right. You all see that? You know, I didn't promote that I'm online. I mean, I'm live. Somebody want to say something on? Probably somebody did on Discord, right? Even that, just messing around on that G string, finding is really, really fun. But basically, because we've learned the D major scale. We've got a lot of like strumming kind of stuff that we can do. But like I can do like a. All I'm playing is these two notes. Sorry, I do it with these two fingers, and that way I can hide. Okay, see what I'm doing? So I'm like 7, open, 7, open, open. But I'm not even playing I'm not playing the A string. So now you've created a 5-4-1. There's no third in there, but it still kind of implies. Just you can mess around with that. You can play just I can arpeggiate the bottom 4 strings. Ooh, that's kind of weird. Or I can play the top. Well, the whole reason is for having this 4th string note is to utilize it. So harmonically, I'm kind of implying a 5 chord. So the 6 to the 4. Yeah, no third in there, but it almost sounds like "Don't Fear the Reaper." Yeah, that would be in D minor, so it would be like. Okay. I can't. Oh yeah, that's an A minor, right? But yeah, it's just kind of like this. 6, 4, 1. 6, 4, 1. 6, 4, 5. I don't know, Joseph. It's weird. Have you tried a different, try on your phone and see if it's buffering on the phone? Because I'm not getting any buffering signals here. Yeah. Oh, as far as the major thirds intonation resonates. So yeah, on power chords, maybe, because especially the more distortion you have, maybe, but that would create a problem, because in rock music, half of the power chords are used for minor chords, so you wouldn't want that at all. So I don't think the power chords typically have any kind of serious. If it's the 5th harmonic, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's technically the 4th harmonic. It would be so quiet that you wouldn't really hear it, and it would sound weird if you heard it in the minor chords, but because it would exist on all of them. So, okay. So now, but again, because we have 3 D strings, we could literally do that with 3 strings. So I'm actually using these 3 fingers, but I can use these 3 fingers. It's fine. So I'm playing at the 7th fret, I'm playing an A note. Remember D, E, F sharp, G, A, and A, at the 7th fret of all the D strings. So I'm 6th string, 4th string, and 1st string. So now I have a whole lot of... weird because I'm strumming it, but if I were to play melodically, maybe play just the 4th string, just fret the 4th string and the 1st string. In that 3rd now, but I'm playing 2 C sharps now. So I got a C sharp, a G, an A, and a C sharp. It's kind of a G7 or an A7 chord, but the lowest note is actually this G string. And like I said, you can play any of those strings. So I'm going to do that because I just noticed it. You know, this is, I love the way that sounds. Check this out. I'm just going to play. Oh, nice. Go see, oh, nice. Watch your nephew play lacrosse. My cousin is she has been the coach for 30 years. Is it Duke? Is it Duke lacrosse? No, it's field hockey. And she's won the national championship many times, I think, my cousin. And no one would know because no one goes to those games. But I think, was it Duke? Yeah, I think it's Duke. So if we just play the D major scale on the D string while we arpeggiate, create some beautiful... Again, I don't have a thumbnail because I broke it off yesterday. Washing my wife's car. I'm a servant. And I sacrificed, not like Memorial Day sacrifice, just sacrificed my thumbnail. Not intentionally. Oh yeah, you can find... the earlier live lessons, you can go to, go to my, here, let me give you a link that you can click on. I'll give you a link to the playlist of beginner lessons. Ultimately, though, I think, let's see, dashboard, my channel. Let me go to my channel. I would have to go to playlists, and then the playlist, I think, oh, hilarious. I need to see it as sorry. I need to see it as I'm seeing all the playlists that I've created, not the public. I need the public ones. Sorry, this is gonna take a second. Oh, if I just go to the video you probably saw of me was, no, that's not what I want, this. Videos, sort by most popular. Okay, if I click on that, sorry. Which, by the way, the video just went over, it went over 4 million. I didn't even notice that. Okay, does Does it say what playlist it's in? Oh, I used to have... Oh, I should totally do timestamps on this video. I don't know why I haven't done that. Okay. Dang. Sorry, I'm just trying to... Oh, somebody did... Well, the chapter... It automatically did chapters. I'm trying to find... How do I find my... See, the problem was... I need to almost log out and then go to my channel. Isn't that funny? Can somebody post... go to my channel, click on playlist, the tab playlist, and then find... It should be the top playlist. Let's see. Oh, maybe if I edit, go to edit mode. Let's see, manage videos, customize channel. This is taking away too much from the lesson. Branding, hilarious. Layout, branding, Each videos. View channel. No, that's not what I want. Oh, well, do I view channel from your perspective? No. Okay. So somebody grab that, do it, find the link for the, oh, you can't place it here. Because well, admins, you might be able to post a link. Bruce, see if you can post a link. Oh, Bruce is helping. Yeah, Bruce has cataloged the lessons very well, so you can kind of go through. And there, I talk about beginner stuff and not beginner stuff, but I suggest having a teacher anyway, Ty, wherever you are. And here's the thing: I want you to be. You're auditioning a teacher, and if the chemistry's not right, then change teachers. If the teacher basically just wants to jam the whole 30 minutes and have you pay him for that, it's like, then change teachers. That's not a good teacher. If a teacher is really interested in helping you learn, and the main thing I would try to do, like I talk about in that video, is just learn a couple simple songs. I've got some videos out there, 5 songs with 2 chords. I've got 3 of those videos. You can learn, several, and because I'm not tuned in standard right now, I really can't show you. But having someone to kind of help walk you through it, especially at our age, I think is a little bit easier. And so it almost makes it more fun if you're a people person too. And it holds your feet to the fire. You're probably more likely to practice if you've got someone. But the main, if you got a lesson every week. But, even then, most of my students would just practice like an hour before they came to their lesson. You really have to be motivated. The thing about it, lessons can be expensive, and if you're paying for them, you're probably more likely to actually do the work too, because you don't want to waste your money. So, but again, watch all of my videos too. That said, okay. So I love the sound. Like, isn't that beautiful? So I'm playing F sharp here. I'm playing the 4th fret on the 4th string. Open G string, open A string, and open D string. Woo, that's just beautiful. And it kind of applies a D major chord with a sus. I would call this a D4 chord. It has the D, triad, and the 4 in there. So right away for writing on DADGAD, you already know all the notes pretty much on 3 of the 6 strings, so 50% of the strings. The other 2 strings are A strings, and those are if you learn the D scale on this A string, and it will automatically transfer to this A string. Okay, and so basically what we're doing is we're doing a D scale, but we're starting on the A, so we're going to go A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A. So it's going to kind of sound like a major scale until we get to here. So we're going to play open A string. I'm playing the 5th string. 2nd fret. 4th fret. 5th fret. Hey! Catherine, what's going on? 7th fret, 9th fret, 11th fret, oh, I'm sorry, 10th fret, and then 12th fret. That's the one change. So I could all right, and I could do that on this. I'm just playing the 2 A strings. Gives you a, you know, 2 melodic options when it comes to like the top 2 strings. You got the D string you can play, and then A string. So you've got some melodic options. So I'm just playing all the bottom strings open. Again, we're in DADGAD tuning. Now, if I want to play a D major chord, add your 3rd finger here on the 4th string at the 4th fret. And that's D major. So we have D, A, F sharp, A, D. And if I want to make it minor, I just take that F sharp down to F natural, and there's F minor, okay? So there's our 1 chord in the key of D. Hey, Dennis, what's going on? Good to see you. We got everybody but Holly. Holly's probably busy, right? Holly's not been on yet, has she? See, Joseph, you're pretty self-motivated to practice, and that's the hard thing. For one thing, I talk about in that video, your fingers are going to hurt if you're not playing a lot. So if you can't play all the time, you know, like some of us can, then you can toughen up your nails by just digging your thumbnail into your finger pads. And that just kind of helps keep them, hey, Brad, good morning. What's going on? So we're talking about DADGAD. We're talking about writing in DADGAD. I'm about to do a new video in DADGAD. You know, I should shoot a video at your store, Brad, at some point. Like for my channel that will just stay up, and I could say, hey, I'm here live at, not live. I could do live from there too, but I'm thinking, we already did that. In fact, it's up there still. I think that video is still up there. But I could film a video at your store, but it would have to be quiet. It would have to be after hours or before hours. And the pressure's on me. I can't tell you how many times I reshoot a video because I don't like it. So it's kind of tough, but yeah, I'll let you know. I mean, I'll try to conceptualize a video that I could do. In fact, it might be even one that I would do with using one of your guitars. So it could be kind of a promotion for the guitar as well as the store. But Brad's got a store in Malibu, just opened recently. I was thinking, Brad, you know what you could do? You could go to every one of those stores that all around there, because you're kind of around the back, right? And I love the signage that you've put up. I saw that looked great on the video. The signage to help people get to your store. But you could also like give the employees of anyone at there like a 10% discount or something like that. Because you've got a built-in clientele right there in the complex. And you would know who works there and who doesn't because you're there so much. So we're in DADGAD, which is D-A-D-G-A-D. And so I'm getting ready to shoot a new video. Will I do it today? What's going on today? I don't think so. Beth is home, so I don't want her to have to be like extra quiet or something while I shoot a video. And what I want to do is I want to write. I actually started writing. I think I may be done. I want to write a little DADGAD piece to play at the beginning of the video. My most popular video, 4 million views, unbelievable, starts out with a little song, and I'm not in picture, and I walk in, pick up the guitar, and I start playing, or I start teaching. And it's the only video I've ever done that way. And I'm like, okay, wait, was that the trick? You know, I'm trying to catch lightning in a bottle again. Now, if I click on my videos, you know, some people would say, dude, you've caught lightning, you know, many times. But 4 million is definitely by far my biggest. After that, it's 756, 607, 465, 465, 312, 301. So I would love to have more 4 million view videos, especially since I own the content. If I were doing covers, you have to do a royalty share thing. So, but I started writing a piece, and so I thought I'd talk about writing in DADGAD. And the piece that I wrote is in major. We haven't talked about minor yet. What time is it? Yeah, we're getting there. It's already been an hour. But I'll play what I've come up with so far. And here's a compositional thing. Do you play an idea and then repeat? You know, this is fingerstyle. It's not, you know, blues can be like this a little bit, but generally you wouldn't do this in most type of writing. Even classical music, you wouldn't do this. Most pieces I know don't do this, but sometimes there's a thing that breeds familiarity with the listener when you play an idea and then play it again. So I'm toying around with that, but I may just go ahead and try to write something that's non-repetitious. So here's what I have so far. If I can play it, my thumbnail's gone. I'm not a great thumb picker, but maybe I should use this as an opportunity to practice my thumb picking. Let's see. I've got a metal. Oh, here's a plastic thumb pick. Okay, that's what I want. That plastic thumb pick. Let's see. See how sloppy this is. So there's the first idea. And so what I basically did there is I've got the low D, so we got this, we're playing a D chord essentially, and I'm hammering on the third. So I'm on the A string. Remember we had A, B, C sharp, D, E. Here's the F sharp, which is the third. And right there I'm hammering on the E to the F sharp, so I've got my third. And then I'm playing the D string, and I'm playing this note here, which is also another D. And I'm going up to E. And that's what those kind of things, you generally, when you're playing in an open tuning, you just kind of discover things. Unless you live in that tuning, it's all about kind of trying things, making mistakes, and then ultimately what the goal is a lot of times is to make a beautiful mistake and then remember it. That's the hard part. That's why I always write things down as I'm doing it. I also record a lot when I'm doing it, but it's sometimes hard to figure something out if it's in a weird tuning. But so it's a bunch of 16th notes. Then I put a little pause there. And one of the keys when I write in fingerstyle stuff in particular is to try to end a phrase with an open string. Because especially if I'm going to be moving positions. That open string buys you a second. So it buys me a second to get to that next chord, which I'm going to do in a second, okay? So, so what I'm doing is, and then I went to open G string, which just created this really cool sound. I put the open G string against the F sharp and then the open D string. So it was like going, right? It's kind or do it like that, but it was all ringing against each other, so which is really nice, I think. Now the question is, do I go to the next phrase or do I do that again? I kind of like repeating it. And then then the next phrase is a G chord. But then I could repeat. See, if I repeat the first phrase, then it doesn't work because I kind of do a similar phrase to end the. I feel like you wouldn't want to do a double phrase here. So here's what I think the first 4 bars of the piece should sound like. And so what I did for the G, not easy. I kind of got this, but again, I'm playing 2 Gs, right? I'm using that knowledge we have that we have 3 D strings. So whatever we do to 1 D string, we can do to all the D strings. I could technically play all G strings here. See, I'm playing all G notes, but I only really need to do the 6th string and the 4th string, and I'm hammering on. Now, why did I hammer on to that G? Well, there's a reason. That's the hook, or that's the theme. That's the melodic idea, right? The whole song starts with a hammer on. So, from a songwriting perspective, it's kind of like you do want to have some thematic concept, and it could be a melodic thing. Often is, usually is. It could be a sonic thing. In this case, it's an embellishment thing. I'm using an embellishment, a hammer-on, and I'm keeping that part of every phrase. Now, the next section, the B section, I didn't start it that way. But so this whole A section, these 4 bars, now I can repeat all of those. So instead of repeating the first 2 bars and then doing the next 2 bars, that becomes a 6-bar phrase. It doesn't make any sense. Or less sense. So I'm going to do the 4-bar phrase twice. So this is what I have as I practice with my thumb pick. That's it. See, now here's a key thing too when you're playing, and it's one of the things you learn in classical guitar is preparation, and I didn't prepare. I fingered this G chord the wrong way. I'm good there now, but now I have to reach for this. So what I want to do is I want to finger it this way. It's harder in the beginning, but it's easier to finish out the phrase. So instead of, see, if I use these 2 fingers, now I have to move everything to get to that. But if I start there, then it's still a stretch. And again, notice how I'm ending that. Playing the 5th fret there, the G, and then the D string open, the G string open, and the A string. Remember, we're DADGAD. So the 4th string, 3rd string, and 2nd string open. Well, the beauty of ending with open strings is it allows me to get to the next position. And that's how that phrase ends, okay? So let me see if I can do it right this time. Again, I just wrote this yesterday, and I'm just trying to. I've written this much yesterday, and it doesn't need to be much longer than this. The thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have people ask, "What's the song at the beginning?" And then I'm going to have to finish it and then release it because I'm just going to write. I don't even think you need to get to 60 seconds of this thing, but. so now repeating makes a lot more sense because it's like repeating like doing an AABA form, and that's exactly what I've got. Okay, the next thing I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for the B section, but I thought, okay, I'm going to go a little weird for the B section. And so what I did was I just played this, it looks like a little like F chord moved up here to A. But when DADGAD, when you play that, see that? I'm playing the A string. And so technically I'm playing nothing on the bottom and 0, 7, 6, 5. So if you're in DADGAD, it'll work. And then you'll notice that the top two strings are the same. But what's interesting is you've got a C sharp and a D right here. Normally this would be an E note because the string would be tuned up. But it creates a beautiful little sus4, or I would call that an A4 chord, right? An A triad with the fourth added. Actually, I pinched it, so I went. See that? So I'm playing the fifth string and then the second string. And then taking my first finger. It's kind of you kind of got to get that timing down. It takes a second to get that, but I'm basically, you don't have to do it this way. You could go, you know. You could do that too, but I like the placement of the melody better that way. And then here's where it gets weird. I did the same thing down here, but I have to go grab this G. So I'm gonna have to grab this. So basically I'm playing 5, and then nothing, 5, 4, 3. And now we got that same rub, that same minor second, that C sharp to D. It really is beautiful. We're gonna have that same rub right here. And that sounds wrong. It's like, whoa, that's bad. But when I put that G note in there, there's a little bit more justification. I put the low G note in there. And I go to the open A string. So I get this. And that's where I'm at right now. I don't know where I'm going to go from there. But that's the beginning of the B section, I think. I was debating whether I want to go to that C natural there. And then I could, no, I don't. I think that C. If I end up keeping it, I could go to the C sharp. You like that, Zach? I like the sound of that. I could do the. What is that? So the. I don't know, maybe that's kind of cool. Now I'm getting into the D minor range, right? We haven't talked about playing D minor, and we're gonna probably continue this, talking about this next week. Now, I'm hoping to have the video recorded and and released by then, so you'll be able to hear the song. I will ultimately try to finish this song. But right now, I'm probably looking at maybe 60 seconds at max. Yeah, going to California, kind of like, yeah, it definitely kind of has that vibe, which is, I just want, you know, and I don't know if I want to bring back that original hook, the very first, after this. You know, I might want to do something that's a little bit different so it's not too redundant. And a lot of times when I'm writing songs, when I'm writing fingerstyle stuff or things like, when I'm writing pop songs or songs for TV, there's totally different goals in mind. But a lot of times when I'm writing music, it's to work on something. It's to work on, hey, Many Vibes. I thought about getting a all fans pay. Was it? No. With OnlyFans, yeah, for like guitar teaching. And I would wear clothes. It would just be me. I just thought it'd be funny. It's like, hey, you know, see if I can make any money doing that. Anyway, when I saw Many Vibes, I thought Many Vids or something like that. Another one of those kind of OnlyFans type things. Still, school teachers getting caught with those. Yeah, going to California is DADGAD, right? Oh, no, it's not. It's DADGBD. Oh, so it's double drop D. So maybe coming out of that, and I could play this. I might play the A like this, even though that I don't need to, so that my hand's already on this. You see that? That's another one of those things about when you're playing guitar and you're going to a new section. It's called about, you know, being prepared, having, you know, using the right fingers. So you don't paint yourself into a corner. And the thing I do like about that A note there, for one, not only because it's so easy to go back and forth between the A and the G, but also because sonically it's more consistent. This is a fretted note and this is a fretted note. See, this is an open note. And when I play that G note here and the A string there, that G note sounds a little bit more dull. So if I just start with the duller A note rather than the open, sonically it's more consistent, but it's also technically easier to play, even though it's a 4-finger chord. I don't have to make a weird shift. Now the question is, where do I go from there? I don't necessarily, like I said, so I could go. Fishing. That's kind of cool. That's cool. like that. Let me write that down while I'm thinking of it. I think that works. I'm going to get rid of that open string, though. I'm going to have to change that. The other thing it's good to have around is something hard you can write on. It's so funny. It's like, all right. People don't use pen and paper as much as they used to, right? So I'm going to get rid of that open A string, and I'm going to go ahead and play that at the 7th fret, because I think for preparation it makes more sense, and also sonically I think it makes more sense. And then I went low E, the low D string. Then I hammered on at the 3rd string. I hammered on 9 to 11, and then I played the top 2 strings open, and then I did low string, and then I did the harmonics, 12, 12, 12, which created a D sus chord, which was kind of nice against that F sharp in the previous melodic idea. And then I went hammered on the F sharp, open A string, and then I went to a 12, which I could do as a harmonic. And so I could also do that in minor. So like, check this out. So if I went, now I wouldn't do it in this song, but like to say if the song were minor, instead of hammering on that F sharp there, I would, see that? Now it's in minor. I might slide that instead of hammer on that, which is more, breaks up a little bit, so it's not all hammer-ons. So I might slide that. So I'm just writing in front of you guys. And like I said, this is going to be a piece that's going to play at the beginning of my next video that I'm going to do. You see the work behind these videos, and I don't do this very often for videos, but it's it's like the videos don't generate a lot of revenue. I may make $20 on a video, and I may spend 20 hours on it. So you do the math. You get that one that takes off, and you make, and then you go, oh, I made $1 million per second. Yeah, no, I didn't make $1 million per second. But so right now I have this. So let me get my thumb pick back on. I'm digging the thumb pick. I need to practice more with thumb picks. Yeah, pen is an instrument. That's a great thought. Yeah. And then I went. That's kind of nice. That's a good place to stop, I think, as far as length. I think playing that twice, I think I may change it. That's kind of cool. Maybe that. So I do this one. Okay, so here's my thinking there. All right, so what I did was I brought back the theme, right? But I brought it up an octave and did it that way. And I go, oh, what if I did the harmonics? And I went, oh, that sounds great. I like that. But that creates a D sus chord, remember? Because it's the top 3 strings. That's a D sus. So I want to bring in that F sharp again to get rid of that sus. And if I end that phrase with that harmonic, check it out. So what that does is it frees up my left hand to get in a position for the next thing. Now, so what I did there was I hammered on the 3rd here, but now I'm hammering on the root. I could end with a C natural, which would be a totally different vibe. It went. Not probably going to go there. I like the sound of that C sharp, which is in the key. So C sharp. So this is basically the same riff. And then I don't know if anybody's watching this. You're all talking to each other. I don't know if anyone's entered. How many people do we have watching? Yeah, we're kind of vacillating. We got up to 27 though. That's pretty darn good. 30 is our average high as far as getting high. So then we have, now I thought about doing that same harmonic, but that creates a, what is that, an A sus chord? And that's not bad. That does too, and it's a little bit lower. Since I melodically went from to down here, I don't want to go higher, so I'm thinking maybe go in the lower harmonic. So maybe go. Oh, that's tough though. Let me try it. Let's see. You lost 3 people when you threatened to take your shirt off. I'm sure I lost a lot more than that. Yeah, when I talked about OnlyFans, right? Yeah, having a guitar teacher. Except I would keep my clothes on. See, that would be the fun. That would make it funny. And I'd have an OnlyFans link on my Instagram. People would be like, "Wait, what?" How many people would click on that? It would be hilarious, I think. Anyway, I won't do it. The guitar teacher that took over America. All right, so yeah, here's the problem. I have to make sure that I finish out that harmonic, that I don't take my finger away. You know. And I think I want to slide like I did this. I kind of like that. So it would be this. And you don't have to be to a click when you're doing fingerstyle. When you're solo, you want some ebb and flow with the tempo. It's kind of what makes it human. When I record these things, I really wouldn't record with a click. The only time I would record with a click, if maybe it was really complex and I figured I was going to have to punch in. But even then, I can punch in without a click. You just monitor what you already played, play along with it, and then hope you can chop it together. It's totally doable. Kind of like that. That's nice. Let me write that down while it's there. So again, I hit that low D string, the bottom string. I hammered on the C sharp, which was the 6th fret of the G string, to the 7th fret, which is C sharp to D. And then I hit the next 2 strings open. So it's the same thing I did in the phrase prior. Then I did harmonics, but instead of doing harmonics on the top 3 strings, I did the next 3 strings, which was the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string at the 7th fret. Oops, I gotta put a root in there though. So I hit the low E again, and then 7, 7, 7, all harmonics. And the way I notate a harmonic is put a little degree symbol on above the letter number. You won't be able to see this because of the glare. So, and then I finish it off like the very intro, except instead of a hammer-on, I used a slide. And I ended on the root. And I could end on a harmonic with that at that 7th fret, because that note is still a D. So, see, I could hit that harmonic there, or I like it because if I fret it, I can do a vibrato. Oh wait. Okay, I didn't play the first note of the slide at the same time as the root. I separated those two, so I got to separate that. Just rewrite it all. So it's 0, then 7 on the 5th string, slid up to 9. This is how I write, and then 7. Okay, I think that's, what should we call this? EGAD, DADGAD. Because I know I will get requests, and I could upload it. I've got 2 songs up on Spotify that I put up there. I've talked about this before. You can, if you go to Spotify and enter my name, you'll see 2 songs. Add them to playlists. Listen to them. I don't make any money from it. The reason I have those up there is those are songs that I kind of poured a little bit more heart and soul into than typical. When I'm writing music for television, oftentimes you're trying to get things fast as possible, and you're not really going complex. They don't want complex things. What I'm writing for generally is underscore for reality shows, and there's dialogue, and so they don't want a lot of fancy, flashy guitar work. But I love writing that kind of stuff. I've got a bunch of classical guitar pieces that I wrote that are very busy and just not really good for underscore. I've written classical guitar pieces specifically for underscore scenes, or call it more like source. And source music is when you're writing music that's supposed to be coming from like a radio or from like a CD player or a cassette deck or something like that. And for example, in a little cafe, they might have classical guitar music playing. Or there might be a classical guitarist. I've done that too, where there's a classical guitarist playing, you're pretending to play your piece or whatever. But that pays more, actually. If there's someone pretending to play your music on screen, that pays more than if your music's just playing in the background. It's interesting. There's a very different things that affect what how a song generates money. Yep, sip. And the kind of money it can generate. So, but I've reserved the Spotify for those songs, and if somebody wants to license those, then they have to pay for it. See, one of the things that happens in the music business is that when you write for TV or film, it's technically it's a work for hire, so they get to keep the publishing, which is half of the money on the back end. Now they're paying you up front. But because they're paying you up front, they're getting half of the money on the back end, assuming that it's a non-pre-existing piece. Wouldn't be the case with a Beatles song. A Beatles song, for example, is already released. It's already got, and so they have to license both the copyright, which is the sync, and the master, which is the recording itself. So there's usually 2 fees. Well, that's the nice thing about having a song that somebody wants to use, and I've licensed music before. And typically, it'll be cheap depending on the scenario. It's not, again, there's back end. And when you're licensing, you're getting to keep all of the back end. You're getting to keep the publishing and the writers, which is half and half. So if a song makes $1, the publisher gets 50 cents and the writer gets 50 cents. And if I'm both, then I get all of that. Except my publisher I'm administrated by Universal Music Group. And so they take 10% of my 50 cents over here. So they take 5 cents of that. Let's see what we got here. I got Um, let's see. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I got to get to work. I got some work I got to do. The clients are in China though, so it's kind of like the boy. It's like it's always 12 hours before I get any feedback. It's hilarious because they're all leaving work now or whatever, you know. So if I do the work now, they're not going to hear it until they get to work tomorrow, and then I get the feedback. It's hilarious. Usual. Oh, sorry. So, yeah. So if I finish this, if I get a lot of requests for this, I don't have a DADGAD song up yet on my Spotify. I only have 2 songs up there. One's standard tuning and one's a gypsy thing. I have another gypsy thing that I've done recently that I may upload. At some point, I have to send it to be mastered, but because I feel like those are things that would get licensed. And so then, like I said, if somebody wants to hear some of my music, I send them to my Spotify page. And then if they want, oh, okay, we like this one, we want to license this one, great. They need to give me a fee for the sync, which is the copyright, because I own the song because I wrote it. And they need to give me because I'm also the record company, they need to give me the master sync. So there's copyright sync. I forget what it's called. It's not called copyright sync, but there's 2 licenses they have to. Now, I've done licenses for $1. I've actually literally licensed one of my songs for $1 because technically money has to change hands. Oftentimes when they're doing like a movie, and this was the case of a movie, the music's the last thing they do, and they've run out of budget, and that was their excuse. But my friend and I wrote the song in a morning, and it was to replace a song it was already in the movie, but the band wanted $10,000 license for it, and it was like, because they got in the time they got the song in the movie, and the movie was getting ready to come out, the band got signed, and the label said, no, you can't use the song unless you pay us $10,000. Well, that was their entire music budget, so they said no. So they asked us if we would write a song, and sure, we would do it for $1. Well, the movie came out, and the movie played a lot, and I've made thousands of dollars off that morning because of being willing to give up a song for $1. So sometimes you don't. You do stuff for the back end. Now, there are times where I know the back end's not going to really exist very much. If it's going straight to Netflix, well, Netflix has back end, but there are certain things where if it's for a record or something, it may not ever come out. You need to kind of be savvy and know what opportunities are going to pay and what opportunities are not going to pay, and try to minimize the non-paying opportunities. I have people I work for that I'm like, yeah, they're trying to get me to work for free, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I can't work for free. And so, oh, well, you'll make a bunch of money on the back end. I'm like, will I think the last song you released, I made 12 cents, so I don't think I'm going to make a lot of back end. But we'll see. Anyway, I have to. That's part of the business, and it's what you sign up for. And like I said, it's kind of a numbers. It's a shotgun thing. You just take your shots and you hit as many things as you can, and then if one of those things take off, then all of it was worth it. Does that make sense? Sorry. We talk about slide. What finger do I use? What finger does he use, or does he focus on left? No, I use. Oh, you saw the slide. No, I play lap steel, but no. When I play slide, I usually use my pinky. Yeah, I use my pinky for slide. Now again, I'm not tuned. You're hearing a lot of a lot of that noise. Yeah, so when I play electric, I usually play slide and standard tuning, just because I was just always practicing. Was working on kind of trying to incorporate. I'm playing a D minor. No, this is E minor. Trying to get this. Trying to get this scale. Everybody take a sip. That's one of our drinking game rules. If I change guitars, we take a sip together. Yeah, I'm just playing over E minor. And then it goes to A minor. You can keep playing in E minor if you want over A minor. Sounds pretty good. Sounds good at that ninth. And then it goes to a B augmented or a B7 sharp 5. And so I've been trying to get this, that scale kind of, it's what is it? It's kind of like, I guess it's a C melodic minor over the B augmented. So it's, yeah, it works great over that. Sorry. What makes a classical guitar? Oh, classical guitar sound like a classical nylon strings. It has nylon strings instead of steel strings. So it's and even the bottom 3 strings are steel, but they're wrapped around nylon fibers. So I don't know how they made them back in the day, but that's. Yeah. Just trying to work that new scale into the. I'll forget it because I don't use it. Sounds so cool. It's very Robin Ford. That's kind of where I got that. I got that from. So it's Robin Ford licks. All right. So I should probably less close, less buffering. Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, it's taking a dark turn. Oh yeah, Jangology. Is that what? Is that the tune? Is that what I called it? Jangology? I forget. Djangoology. Yeah, is that what I called it? So if I go to Spotify, don't I have the Spotify app? Where is it? Okay, just have to go to YouTube. No, go to Google. Spotify. Strahle. I mean, I have a lot of music out there on Spotify, but it's not mine. Yeah. So no, Question Mark is the song on Spotify. And then Emma Louise. Question Mark's 3 minutes. Emma Louise is just a fingerstyle thing. My daughter, dedicated to my daughter, and that one is standard tuning. And I like writing fingerstyle stuff in standard tune because it's kind of a challenge. It's easier to play stuff in fingerstyle because you're solo guitar and open tuning because you can just hit all the strings and it just works. And you've got like with drop D, with open D, and with DADGAD, you have a power chord on the bottom. So I don't do this kind of crap, but you'll see, you'll see them doing power chords. I don't do any of that crap. It's a whole nother skill set that but that's something I don't want to work on. It's kind of like the two-handed tapping thing. I kind of can do a little bit of it, but I never mastered it because I'm like, how can you do it better than Eddie Van Halen? So it was like, yep, not going to even try. Shoot. So, but yeah, it's been almost 2 hours, so I should probably head off. Hey, CM. Yes, you too. Have a great day. Oh, Ticket 2 and Tech. Wait, hello. We got all of a sudden got new people. What's going on? Oh, you have a question. What's your question? Our song is wondering what type of metal it is. Ooh, that's a Dennis question. Dennis might know. There are so many genres of metal. Like, if I enter metal music genre list, it probably has the most subgenres of any music. Let's see. Heavy metal, speed metal, thrash metal, power metal, death metal, melodic death metal, technical death metal, brutal death metal, slam death metal, black metal, first wave of black metal, true Norwegian black metal. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Hardcore, metalcore, deathcore, post-hardcore, drone, gent. Gent's the one that cracks me up. Post-metal, neoclassical metal, modern metal, industrial metal, groove metal. I mean, doom metal. It's just, I have no idea. It's like, you can't keep up with it. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'm glad I brightened up your day a little bit. I hope try to smile. I'll be here next Monday if Lord willing. And everybody be safe. Have fun today. If you're if it's still early enough in the day, go out and try to just spend the day kind of remembering and reflecting a little bit. I'm going to do that a little bit today too. Just God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching. And I will. Oh, look at we're peaking now. Really, everybody's showing up now. So hopefully this week I'll have a new video. That's my goal. But anyway, we'll talk. I got to record this idea first. Not first. It doesn't matter what order I do it in. But David, bye. I'll talk to you later. Joseph, thank you. God bless you all. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the movies. All right. Talk to you soon.